Kavanagh in Umbria. Now, I was very fortunate to have met Kavanagh when I was about 21 years of age, 19, 20, 21 kind of age. And I knew him very well for the last year of his life. I was a very young man. He was getting on. He was very old in many ways, very young in others too. He had an extraordinary capacity for youthfulness, but he was very, very ill and old and frail. But I was terrified of him the first time I met him. I was absolutely terrified of him. And I had a poem in a magazine, and he came up and he said, "Did you write that poem?" And I said, "I did, yes." I couldn't tell a lie. I said, "Well, it's not a bad little poem." So on we went from there. It was all right, you know. So I was taken. I was accepted. But he had an extraordinary effect on my life in general, because after he died, and it was a strange time for me. I was still finding things out for myself, and I was thinking, very lost on occasion, and sometimes I found myself thinking, you know, about any situation, what would Kavanagh do in a situation like this? What would he do? How would Kavanagh deal with this? And so he became a kind of subliminal mentor for me in many ways. When I say I knew him very well, I mean, didn't mean that I knew him equally on terms with himself, I mean, on equal terms. I didn't know him on equal terms at all, but I knew him very well, and that I saw him pretty much every day in Macdara. So I talked to him every day in Macdara, chat to him every day in Macdara. So I did know him pretty well in that sense. And I was also very lucky once that we were both staying in Leland Bardwell's flat in Leeson Street, 33 Leeson Street, in the basement of 33 Leeson Street. Kavanagh had no home at the time. He was sleeping on a couch in the corner, and I was sleeping on two armchairs pushed together. We were snowed in as well. And we'd waken up in the morning quite early, and he would say to me, we'd start chatting about this, that, and the other. He started talking to me about, say, Terry Flynn. And I'd read Terry Flynn, and he said, I loved Terry Flynn because I knew all the things. I knew what he was writing about very well in Terry Flynn, because I was brought up through the 40s on my grandmother's farm in County Meath, which is very, very similar. Life had not changed very much from the time of Terry Flynn until the 1940s, obviously. And I recognised that he used the words he used, like haggard and rake and the stoop. "You give me some water to stoop my finger." I said, "Of course I will. You want some salt in it?" And I was, you know, it was going from the code. But he became very important to me anyway. It was very important to me. It always has been very important to me. But I remember getting a letter from James Iddy in 1961. James Iddy wrote me this letter, and he said, I wish I could write as badly, as simply as Kavanagh." I know exactly what he meant. It's very hard to do. Now, Kavanagh was never in Umbria, not to my knowledge, but not to anybody's knowledge, but I see him there frequently, because the men going home at night in November through the fog on the tractors are hunched up exactly the way he sits in McDade's public house. The countryman's sitting over the tractor wheel, or my uncle's going home with a horse and dray, sitting over the front of the dray, like, you know, the corner of the dray, the horse. But he's there. He's there in the people, absolutely in the people. And I wrote this poem about him in August 2004, as a centenary. Kavanagh in Umbria. I have seen him here in November, going home through the dark on the tractor, a piece of sacking thrown across his shoulders against the winter fog, hunched up between the unseeing olives and the leafless sticks of vines, marvellously translated but not translated at all from where he is. Broken fields, perishing calves, November haggard, and the mist where Genesis begins. The last two lines of the poem are taken from Kavanagh directly, November haggard, and the mist where Genesis begins. And in fact, there was also a collection of letters of his brought out called November Haggard, as I remember.